Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
Switch to Verizon Business and get more from your internet without paying more for your internet. Get LTE Business Internet starting at $39 a month when paired with select business mobile plans. That's unlimited data, and with it, unlimited possibilities. Start saving today with Verizon Business, ranked #1 in small business internet customer satisfaction by J.D. Power. Starting price for 25 megabits per second LTE internet plan with smartphone plan savings, plus taxes, fees, and economic adjustment charge. Terms apply. For J.D. Power 2024 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, I wanted to talk on how internet drama is not needed. You know, because the thing is this, what trips me out throughout, like, my 15 years of being involved in the content creating scenes, because, yeah, the first 5 years, like, I was kind of just, like, testing the waters when it came down to content creation, but I was paying attention to what was going on within the content creating scenes, and I just remember them 5 years where I was like just kind of figuring out myself as a content creator. I do not remember no drama. Like, it seemed like after that 5-year period, like after 2015, that's when it seems like that internet drama was a thing. Like, yeah, you seen where people had talked on stuff, but overall it wasn't no situation where it's like today you see where content creators be beefing left and right. You got it where XQC, he got to say things about people. You got it where, I'm trying to think of some other content creators out there. You know, it's like, yeah, but it's like, overall though, like, yeah, that was, he's like one of the latest people I've seen in the scenes where he's just been calling out people, talking about their view botting. They're doing this, they're doing that. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, you are in a position to where you don't have to talk about nobody. Like, let's just talk on XQC's following real quick. Let's bring up his socials. I know he streams on, I think he bro, my thing is this, you know you're a big deal when you have a Wikipedia page. When you got a Wikipedia page, like, bro, you're one of those individuals that people be looking up to. But yeah, we're gonna open up his socials. Let's open up his Twitter. Yeah, he does stream on Kick too. Let me see if there's anything else. I mean, just as an honorable mention, he got over 23,000 followers on Facebook, but I don't think nobody goes to Facebook to watch no XQC content. At least not, I don't think they do. I ain't never heard nobody talk about, oh yeah, I'll be watching XQC on Facebook. I ain't never heard nobody say that. But anyways, he got 12 million followers on Twitter, or not on Twitter, but on Twitch. 12 million followers on Twitch, 568,000 followers on Instagram, and he got a picture with Will Smith. That's why I'm like, yeah, wasn't Will Smith just recently on his stream not too long ago? Yeah, he was on his stream not too long ago. 2.3 million subscribers on YouTube and 1.5 million followers on Twitter. And then on Kick, he has 875,000 followers. My thing is this. You are not in any position, meaning, like, not saying that, like, oh, people are better than you, but it's like you're in a much more better position than you think you are, where you don't have to sit around and talk. The thing is this. You can play any video game you want to play. You can react to whatever video, song. Like, you can do just about anything when it comes down to content creating. Like, you can get into the competitive scenes, because I think they did say that he used to do that for a little bit. But overall, it's like meaning like gaming and stuff. You do not need to be getting into it with people. That's what I mean by, like, it's just drama nowadays just seem like it's unnecessary. Like, it's not really needed. Like, people be causing drama, and it's like, fam, I don't know if you're, like, and I don't know, maybe that could be the case with XQC, where he may be thinking that he's falling off, but I'm like, okay, you have to sit down and think about it, though. Are you on the same scale as, like, somebody like Kai Cenat in his streams? You know, if we could just talk on Kai Cenat in his streams real quick. In just the, like, less than a year, he's had, Kevin Hart, Drewski. He's had Bryce James, LeBron James' son. Oh yeah, then on top of that, I think he was, LeBron James was like on a FaceTime, but he FaceTimed Kevin Hart. But still, regardless, just to throw that in there, he was on his stream. I'm trying to think of you. Don't get me wrong, you had Will Smith on your stream. That's a big deal, and you get the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on your stream. Yeah, that's some crazy stuff. But my thing is this though. On top of that, then he has his own friends that he be involved in his streams. I mean, even if we're not even saying somebody like him, think of like the uprising of Senna, for an example, and how much she's been blowing up in the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing, though, with the fan base, is that they are always going to be interested in other creators. That's something that, and I feel like that's something that needs to be explained, and people need to understand, is that you can't force your fans to watch you. You can't force your fans to continue being a fan of you. It is going to get to a point in time where somebody else takes over that spotlight that you was once in. It's okay. The thing is this though, what you have to do is you have to get into other audiences. Like that, and see, that's the thing where I'm like, I would have to say I have 0%. Well, I ain't gonna I shouldn't say 0%. Maybe like 5 to 10% of, like, I guess, arguing with people. But then like the other like 90 to 95%, that's me focused on what I can do differently when it comes down to content creating. I ain't got time to be out here getting into it with people. It's pointless. It's like, at the end of the day, what you gotta ask that question. What do you overall accomplish when you're getting into it with somebody? You know, and I have heard that case, well, I guess more so just with my own little personal beefs. The one, it was Just a Robot. He was big on wanting to win arguments. Why? Like, what? Like, I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, with content creating, I'm saying, like, when I look at myself as an entertainer. So it's like, and I look at somebody like Just a Robot, he's a heckler. I'm up on stage, entertaining my crowd. You're heckling for what reason? If you don't like it, then fam, leave. That's just to even talk on that real quick, I guess, to throw that in there, not really getting off topic, like still staying within like just that, but just talking on heckling and stuff. Cause I be watching like comedy videos, like stand-up comedy videos. And that's the one thing that I just don't understand. It's like, why do you put yourself in an environment where you know you're going to be getting into it with people? I guess to still keep it within the same topic, it's like, why does a content creator feel like, oh, let me create this channel, let me build up this platform so I could get into it with other people? Why? Like that, it's things like that where I'm like, fam, there is so much that you can do, whether it's, I guess, like adding on to something that already exists when it comes down to content creating, or trying to create something that hasn't been done before when it comes down to content creating. That's where my mindset is at. And I feel like that's a successful mindset. And that's the thing, like, I could just think back on times like where people have told me, I guess, like more so talking on, because I've always have thought of myself as a positive content creator. Like, there ain't no reason for me to be negative. What do I have? What reasons do I have to be negative? And I've said that before in videos. And I just remember the one time where I had said that. This was like back years ago, and I was actively getting into it with Just a Robot. But I remember one of his fans saying that, talking about you can't always be positive. At times you are going to have to be negative. Why do you have a mindset like that? And I genuinely think that there are people out there, there are content creators out there that have that mindset. Why? For what? My thing is this: what reason do you have to be negative to a person that ain't did nothing to you? You know, it's like, you guys sit down and think about stuff like that. Like, what do you gain? What do you accomplish? And if it is on that Just the Robot stuff where it's like, oh, I just like winning arguments, fam, everybody in the content creating business ain't trying to argue with people. You can't force somebody to argue with you. That's not, content creating don't work like that. Everybody got their own space. Everybody got their own business. My thing is this, do you see Burger King going into a McDonald's franchise, restaurant building, whatever, arguing with them about their items? No. Do you see Leonardo DiCaprio going into Brad Pitt's house arguing about movies? No. Do you see Kendrick, well, no, I feel like I can't say Kendrick Lamar. I'm trying to think of another. Okay, do you see Sabrina Carpenter going into Lana Del Rey's house arguing with her about her music? No. I'm saying it's things like that are, I guess, like, yeah, if we are talking Kendrick Lamar and Drake, yeah, that's entertaining because those are like big names, but it's like at the end of the day, I guess like people, that's probably why they do that type of stuff, because it's a big name. It's XQC getting into it with Kai Cenat. But even then, I guess if I could just, talk on that. Well, you know what? No, I have stated my opinion on the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. I think it shouldn't have led into the situation that it did. Like, don't get me wrong. The music that came out of it was pretty entertaining music. But overall, though, that was something that I said about Drake, was that Drake didn't even need to respond in that situation, but he chose to respond. Now look at what he's going through right now, having it where it's like people can't even look at him the same anymore as they did before the drama had went down. So it's like, yeah, I feel like that at one point in time, Drake, he was on top of the world. Couldn't, like, nobody touch him, all right? Got into it with Kendrick Lamar, realized that he could get touched, realized that his career was in jeopardy. Now look at him. I'm saying Kendrick Lamar touring around the world, living his life right now. Where's Drake at? So that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's at times, and I feel like that's like the negative, because I could just say for myself, like the times where I've gotten into it with people and I fed into it, it led me nowhere. So that's why I was like, if I was in a position like Drake, if I had like just with the mindset that I have right now, but I was in a position like Drake, I'm not going to be getting into it with people. I don't want to get into it with people right now, and I'm not even on that same level as Drake. Because it's pointless. You get nowhere with that type of stuff. I find the thing is this. I would rather sit around, get mad about a video game, make music, do reaction videos, do voiceovers, do TikToks, do podcast episodes, talk about sports, talk about movies and TV shows. Did I say, I felt like I might have said something about music. I can't remember. But anyways, if I haven't, talk about music. What else? Talk about food. Just like with just the 50 total channels that I have and all the ideas that I can possibly put out there, what position in my life do I have time to be sitting around arguing with people? What am I going to overall gain? My thing is this, because really at the end of the day, you ain't gaining anything when you are getting into it with somebody. I guess, like, yeah, you may gain some fans from that other side of the audience, but at the end of the day, it's like, I ain't trying to have that. I'm trying to get into a much more bigger audience. So, like, thinking back on when I just, like, the content creators that I've gotten into it with, and I've and realized I ain't getting nothing from that. It's like, if anything, I went backwards when it comes to that type of stuff. And I feel like a lot of content creators, they get so just overall high up there when it comes to fame and stuff, to where they're like, oh yeah, I can't go backwards. Look at Drake. I'm like, Drake thought the same thing. Now look at him. I'm saying he's still gonna be Drake. And I even remember saying that when that stuff was going down last year, was that Drake is still gonna be Drake. It's like, you can't take that away from that man. He's still gonna come out with hits. He's still gonna do his thing. I feel like now it's kind of different. But still, though, at the end of the day, he's still going to be Drake. He's still going to be making money. He's still going to be doing his thing. So what reasons do he has to worry about, I guess, if somebody is making, I guess he's probably learned his lesson now, that if somebody else come after me, it ain't going to be a Meek Mill situation. It's going to be a Kendrick Lamar situation, to where now it's like, yeah, you're going to really be having to set some time aside to be going at it with this person. I ain't got that type of time. So yeah, there's days where people be trying to get into it with me, especially it'd be fans of content creators I ain't got into it with, and they try to get that that old me out and stuff, and I'm like, nah, bruh, that version of me long gone, out of here. It's like I find myself making a lot more I guess being more successful focusing on other content, because it's funny though, people be trying to, that's the thing too, it's like there are some fans out there that are enablers. They want the beef to continue. I'm like, my thing is this: if you want the beef to continue, you gonna have to get into it with that person. I don't want no parts of it. So yeah, it's like there are at times where people, they be trying to, influence you to get back, I guess, into, because I know there's been times where people, they've done that, it'll be fans of content creators I ain't got into it with, and they comment on my videos, I guess just trying to say something, I guess, to get underneath my skin, and I'm like, bro, I don't care about that. That's why the funny thing is, and people, they get so upset about that type of stuff too, and that's when it's like, when they want to argue, they want to get into it with you. when you delete a person's comment, bro, it is the most, people be having the most funniest reactions because they get so upset about it, and it's like, well, fam, I don't want to see it. Like, that's the thing that I don't think you're not understanding. It ain't got nothing to do with you being right or winning the argument or whatever it is that you want to paint out. I just don't care for your comment. So I delete it. I leave it alone. I focus on myself because I find that much more easier. So yeah, that's one thing that I definitely encourage people. Somebody say some stuff about you, ignore it. Leave it alone. Yeah, it's going to be at times where it is going to probably be a little bit harder to ignore stuff. I know I didn't have my fair share of moments where I done talked on things for a little bit. But overall, it's something where I'm like, you know what? I have like a few moments to spare. Let me just talk on this real quick. But I guarantee and I promise you, in the 24-hour period where I can be doing any and everything that I want to do in my content creating career, I am going to focus on what's bettering my content creating career than, I guess, having it where them few little moments where I'm paying attention to some drama where that's going to expand and then it's occupying the majority of my day. Can't have that happen. I'm like, nah, bro. It's just one of those things where I'm like, nah, I gotta lock back in and I got to, just overall focus on myself and things. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You see so many, and that's one thing when, you see a content creator, they ain't getting into no drama. They ain't got no stuff going on. They just chilling. It's like, dang, how does it feel? That's what I want, so, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. If people try telling you like, oh, you need drama to survive as a content creator, no, you don't. You do not need drama to survive as a content creator. Last year, when I had my uprising with the voiceover content, not once did I get into it with anybody. I'm like, yeah, some stuff got, I guess tried to get started, but it didn't go nowhere because I was more so focused on voiceover content. I'm like, okay, let me sit down and think about it. And the duration it would take me to make a video responding to whatever it is that's coming out about me, I can use that time to make a bunch of different voiceover videos or respond to this comment or this video or this tweet, whatever it is about me. I'm like, nah, fam, I am going to take that time to focus on some content that's actually going to better my channel. Because I guarantee and I promise you, the duration of the times like when I was just getting into it with people, I'm like probably the only time where I might have had some success, I guess, with growth when getting into it with somebody was the one YouTuber that I got into it with a while back, Minnesota Boy, because everybody was just seeing like, oh, this is a guy that's not racist getting into it with the racist. So yeah, it's like, well, of course we're gonna be a fan of the guy that's not racist and things. That probably is the only time I think where I had some sort of success when it came to getting in, more so like just growth, I guess. But other than that, any other situation, I'm like, it's just a waste of time. I'm like, I ain't got that type of time to be sitting around arguing with people and stuff. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.